Hi, I'm Reese, a designer with the Quilted Cow. Today I will show you how to make the helpful Heifer Monica pillow. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Husqvarna Viking sewing machines, Creative Grids, rulers, mats, and cutters, and the beautiful Wilmington prints, the fabrics I'll be using today. Let's get started.
Quiet on set, we are rolling.
Today I'm going to show you how to make the helpful Heifer Monica pillow. Check out our website for kits and patterns at thequiltedcow.com. The kits come with the pattern and all the fabric you need to sit and sew. So let's go ahead and get started. Just set this aside. And for this, you're going to want to get the Quilted Cow exclusive Charming Half Hexie. The kitted patterns do have like a printed template on the back, but the acrylic template is a lot easier to work with. So I'm just gonna lay my template on my piece and just cut this out. If you have a mat that rotates, this helps out so much better. Then you don't have to move your template or anything. Let's go ahead and rotate that. Making sure I line everything up again. And just trim off that extra. And then there is your half hexagon. Okay, let's just lay that aside. Won't be using that color. So my first row I'm gonna lay out, just rotating my half hexagons. And that's gonna be your top row. So we're gonna take 2 of these and leave them just like they were and put them right sides together at an angle, just like that. Making sure the point and that point lines up. As you can see here, there's a little bit of fabric left over, and that's okay. You want that for your seam allowance. I'm gonna go ahead and pin this in place. And then using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, I'm gonna sew right down that line. Let's do that. Okay, now that I have sewn those 2 pieces together, I'm gonna set my template aside real quick. I'll lay this out and just give it a nice press. And then I'm going to continue going down that line, same thing. Now this side, flipping it right sides together. And it's gonna go in the opposite direction of the last one. And I still again have a little bit of fabric here left over. I'm gonna pin that in place and then take it to the machine, and I'm gonna continue adding those strips together. Let's do that. Now that I have my strip sewn together, to save time, I went ahead and sewed all my other strips together. So I'm just gonna attach this top one by folding it right sides together. And before I do that, I'm actually gonna point out when I pressed my strips, I pressed them one direction, and then the second, I pressed in the opposite direction. That way my seams will nest nicely when I put them together. And I'm just going to make sure that each seam lines up nicely before I pin. Okay, now that I have everything pinned in place, I'm gonna take it to the machine and use a 1/4 inch seam allowance and sew this together. Let's do that. Okay, I have sewn that last row on, and I'm going to go ahead and press those seams open. Now that I have everything pressed, we're gonna trim this down to 14.5 inches. So normally, I would use my 21-inch ruler that I have to find the 14.5 inches, but if you don't, we'll just fold it in half to find center and then measure off of that. And next, I'm going to add our background fabric strips to the top and to the bottom. I'm gonna lay this right sides together on the top and right sides together on the bottom. Let's go ahead and pin in place. And then I'm going to take it to the machine and sew both of those strips on. Now that I have my pieces on, I'm going to go ahead and press those strips open, just pressing them away from the center. Now that I have everything pressed, we're going to add our outer border, and we're going to take this border and fold it right sides together, making sure everything's lined up. We're going to do both sides, and then we'll do the top and bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I've sewn on our side pieces. So now I'm going to do the top and bottom, doing the exact same thing we did before, just laying them right sides together. I'm going to pin in place. And then once again, using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, I'm going to take it to the machine and sew our top and bottom borders on. Let's go ahead and press those strips open. Once again, I'm just pressing away from the center. Okay, now that we have all of our borders together, at this point, if you buy a kit on the website, it comes with muslin, so you can have a quilted pillow top. I won't be doing that today, but at this point, this is when you would want to layer your muslin with your cotton batting and then your pillow. So after that, you'll want to take your backing fabric and cut it to size, and then you'll just fold it in half and then top stitch along the fold. And I've already done that on both pieces. I just stitched a 1/4 inch away from each of these folds. And you're going to layer your pillow top right sides up. And then all your raw edges of your backing pieces need to be along the edges of your pillow. And as you can see here, the folds are in the center and they will be overlapping so you can get that nice envelope backing. So let's go ahead and line everything up. I'm going to take and pin all the way around the pillow, and then I'm going to stitch around all those edges. Okay, I have sewn the backing onto our pillow, and your edges are still like raw here. So if you want them to be more sealed, you can just do like a zigzag stitch all the way around just to seal those raw edges. So let's go ahead, and I like to just trim off the edges just a little bit on my corners, not my edges, my corners. Let's just trim off those, just the teenths to cut down on the bulk. There we go. And the last one here. Okay. And now let's turn it right sides out. Just giving each corner a nice good press. I try to just use my fingers because I don't really want to use something too pointy or sharp because it'll press through your fabrics. You can create a hole by doing that. So just give it a nice good press. And there you have it, the Helpful Heifer Monica pillow. Remember to check out our website for kits and patterns at thequiltedcow.com. The kits come with the pattern and the fabrics you need to sit and sew. Like and subscribe to watch all of our videos. Thanks for watching.
Okay, you wicked cool quilters, good job. You made it to the end. We would like to thank our sponsors, Husqvarna Viking Sewing Machines, Creative Grids, rulers, rotary cutters, and mats, and Wilmington Prints for the beautiful fabrics. Thanks for watching.